Hi there. My name is Kim Berkeley, and I'm one of the authors of the Speaking Out About Self-Injury blog over on HealthyPlace. Today, I wanted to talk about getting help with self-harm during a pandemic. Now, I know one of the biggest challenges of pandemic life is how restricting it can feel and how isolated you can feel from your usual sources of support. So I wanted to make this video just to remind you that, yes, you do still have options for getting help, and you do have access to a lot of the usual sources of support. They might just look a little different right now while we're all coping. So the main three sources that you can turn to are obviously therapy, your support network, and external resources. Now, with therapy, obviously one of the challenges is that you either can't or maybe don't want to go see a therapist in person, and that's okay. Even if your provider doesn't offer telehealth, obviously you might want to talk to them about whether they're planning to or whether they already do, and maybe they've just been bad about communicating that it's available. If that's not an option with your current provider, or you don't have a current provider, maybe try looking for one that does offer telehealth or video conferencing, or even just, instant messaging, something like that. A lot of places have moved to this format of therapy because, everybody's going through this. Everybody understands that you can't always go in person to a meeting. If this doesn't seem like an option, there is also online counseling services like BetterHelp or Talkspace, which I've tried before and actually found very helpful, even before there was a pandemic to worry about. So, and one of the great things about these is that they often offer either a sliding scale for payment or some kind of financial aid. So even if they don't accept insurance, or maybe they don't accept your current insurance provider, they can often be a much more affordable option than traditional therapy, especially if you're not covered. Finally, if traditional therapy just in general just doesn't seem like an option right now, there are also free hotlines and free online support groups that you can talk to. Just have some kind of support that way. Now, as for your own personal support network, again, the challenge is staying connected when you may not be able to hang out in person like you normally would. Maybe you used to have Friday movie nights or date night or family night, whatever. And with social distancing and, possibly people getting sick and things like that, especially after so many months of dealing with COVID-19. It can be really hard to feel like you're still connected to those people that keep you afloat during hard times. But it is more important now than ever to stay connected. So if you have anyone who already knows what you're going through, at least to some extent, try asking them to check in with you maybe once a week, maybe every other week, just having some kind of formal penciled in time for talking, because it can be really easy to lose track of time, especially if you're working from home now and maybe you don't have as much structure as usual. And just you need to make sure that you make time for socializing, even if it's not the kind of socializing that you're used to. Having that person that you can talk to about what you're dealing with, even if they don't fully understand, makes a huge difference in being able to understand it yourself and get through it. Even if you don't have anyone who knows exactly what's going on, everybody understands that we're all going through something right now. So still keep those connections up. If you're not comfortable asking them to call you, maybe you set an alarm or mark it on your calendar or whatever you need to do to hold yourself accountable for keeping in touch. Finally, external resources. As always, there are books. Online ordering is obviously a big thing right now, but if you don't want to buy any, you might be able to get some from a library, or, if you have an e-reader, there's a lot of free or lower cost options usually there. There are also a lot of free online resources, videos, documentaries, things like that. And of course, on the HealthyPlace website, we have a really great self-harm resource page with lots of hotlines, lots of information, things like that, anything you need to understand what you need to do in order to stay well. So yeah, that's about it for now. Thank you for watching. I know this has been a really long year, and there have been a lot of times when it probably felt easier to just give up than deal with what's going on right now. I know I've gone through some of that myself, but I'm glad you're still here, and I'm glad I'm still here. And I believe that eventually we will get through this. We will be on the other side of this, and things will get better. Until then, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything else you want to share, go ahead and leave a comment on the blog, and either I or my lovely co-author, Martina, will get back to you as soon as we can. And, if you know anyone who you think needs to watch this video, maybe send that to them too. Because I think we can all use a little extra support these days. Thanks. Bye.